talking about bringing value and how the idea of how we value ourselves are changing within this new market that's establishing itself. I just want to iterate on what you guys were saying earlier about, bringing value. I think that what's common, what I notice a lot, is a lot of us, we box each other out from information. But if we learn that we can share information with each other, we could benefit from the information we share with each other. Because Nick has information that he shares with me all the time that I didn't know about, and vice versa. Same thing with Ron. So while we're sharing with each other, we're helping each other grow. You understand what I'm saying? So the new way to really grow is not being selfish and boxing each other out. It's about sharing the information. And that's what the internet represents. It's about pretty much like a community mindset. When we share with each other, we don't have to be selfish. We can help each other out and share information and flourish together.
That is true.
And you really no longer need to do the whole crabs in the bucket syndrome. We help each other out, and we got to, again, with budgets tight and the economy tight, we've learned, certainly us from a community standpoint, and us just being, colleagues and business professionals, is that, we're resourceful. And, we're in an age where you don't have to reinvent the wheel. If you find something out or I find something out, let's share, because, if it took me 5 days to find it and I could share it with you, and now you got it right up close and personal, let's do that. What's wrong with that? That's how I'm a firm believer that, when you give, good is coming back to you.
Definitely.
And this is how Stretch Yourself was started, guys. Jason, Nick, and people out there that's going to watch this. I was around, I had some great mentors around me and some great people around me that had bigger pockets than I had. So, Ron had to deal with the little pockets that Ron had. And so what Ron had was the mindset and the passion to know. With that, I started doing the research. And as I did the research, I started learning new ways and different resources that made it available. Now, the greatest thing about it, and the part of my Stretch Yourself program, is that I provide those resources to people. I provide those resources to somebody that's been in that same position that I have, so they don't have to recreate the wheel like you, Nick. That they can go in there and know that it's able to make a business, like you talk to some of the people with your program, and make them know that it's believable with your program. So I make them understand with the resources that I give them so much value and so many resources to make them see that it's possible, so that it ignites their passion and makes them believe and achieve. But it all started with me giving. It all started with me giving a lot of those resources away, giving it. And as I was out there doing those seminars and speaking, I seen Ron out there in the crowd, just as hungry, just didn't have those same pockets. Exactly. I seen Ron in the crowd in Seattle, just as hungry, just didn't have those pockets. And when you give that hand up, you got to see how much you get blessed in return. And I know some of us probably follow the Bible. I know you probably follow the Bible, greater or higher power, whatever it may be. But I think the Bible says the same thing. Whatever you're giving of value is going to come back in return. But we as a society, or we as a people, we get in that scarcity mindset. We say we just got to get as much as we can and get it while we can. And then more importantly, when we find something, we got to hold it. We only want to give just so much because we think we're going to lose all of this.
We're not going to get nothing else.
Get away from me, Nick. Get away from me. You're trying to take mine. And it's not that way. Right. It's not that way. We were meant to be abundant. And when you learn how to share and cross-collateralize and use the resources that you're given, you'll be blessed in return. Because guess what? Jason may have a seed that I need that will help me, but more importantly, I may have a seed that Jason needs that's going to help him, and as a collective, we grow together.
Exactly. You said something powerful too. Hand up.
Yeah, always, man.
Right, because that person that you help, you don't know who they're going to become later on. That could be the next Oprah or the next Tony Robbins or the next whatever, that remember that you gave them some certain amount of information, and they might be able to put you on in a certain way that you never knew that they could put you on. So you never know who you're helping. So the key is just to give and help if you can.
Man, I was watching Steve Harvey, and on the Steve Harvey show, this is not a shameless plug for Steve Harvey, by the way. This is not a shameless plug for Steve Harvey. But I was on there, and one of the things that I was watching the show, and one of the things that really stood out for me, for his birthday, they reached out to him. And they said, hey, we got a surprise for you. And he said, I don't like surprises for my birthday. And they reached back, and they pulled this lady and this man, they retired in Florida, and they paid his cell phone bill, and they gave him a place to stay, and didn't ask him for no money or in return. And when they brought them guys up on that screen and showed him, he broke down and cried. He said, man, he said, these people are some stand-up people. These people helped me when I was on the grind, trying to make it, doing these little shows and doing this and this and that. And more importantly, he said, what are you guys doing right now? He said, I'm flying my jet now, you're coming out. And he gave them money in the whole 9 yards just to have that reconnection back. But it all started from them giving that seed and that value. And I'm not saying that you have to give something, but you have to give something that you feel within your heart. Because if that's not who you are as a person, if you don't believe in yourself and that's not who you are, then guess what? You can't give what you don't have. So don't even worry about it.